The advent of computers and robotics raised fears about the future of work. Scientist, professor, and author Isaac Asimov wrote stories like I, Robot and Runaround and introduced the three laws of robotics, but also showcased a world where machines could replace human labor, echoing concerns about a socialist state where the means of production are centralized, as well as the less subtle warnings of overdependency on AI and advanced technologies breeding complacency and intellectual and physical flaccidity in men. Asimov's views towards AI and robotics, including the three laws, have become the gospel by which modern engineers and roboticists work. With technology, there is a fear of losing that which makes us human. Stories like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick and its film adaptation starring Harrison Ford and Sean Young, Blade Runner, delved into the ethical implications of creating artificial beings that could be indistinguishable from humans, questioning the soul of a society that might treat people like machines. The combination of technology and totalitarian control often led to dystopian futures where technology was not just a tool but a means of oppression. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, for example, uses technology and pharmaceuticals to control population growth and happiness, reflecting the fears of how a socialist state might use science to manipulate its citizens. The rapid technological advancements of the mid-20th century were often portrayed as either the weapon or the salvation against communist expansion. Films like The Day the Earth Stood Still in 1951 used the alien Klaatu to critique the nuclear arms race and the Cold War, suggesting that technology could either unite or destroy humanity regardless of political ideology. Sci-fi from this period often envisioned the aftermath of nuclear war. Novels like On the Beach by Neville Shute and films like The Day After in 1983 didn't just depict the end of the world, they made you feel it, wrapping you in the dread of a slowly dying planet. These stories were less about the bang and more about the whimper of human civilization fading away. The concept of mutually assured destruction was ripe for sci-fi exploration. Stories like Dr. Strangelove by Stanley Kubrick took this to the absurd, dark comedy heights, illustrating the ludicrousness of nuclear strategy where everyone loses. It was a satirical reminder of how close we were to the edge. Many stories like Star Wars featured resistance against both technological overreach and ideological tyranny, with characters fighting to preserve human values, freedom, and even the essence of humanity against a backdrop where both technology and political systems would strip these away. Sci-fi was not just escapism. It was a dialogue with the fears of its time, reflected the paranoia of Soviet influence, the potential for technology to become a tool of oppression, and the existential dread of losing what makes us so uniquely human. These stories have served as warnings about unchecked technological progress and political systems, often critiquing the current state of affairs by imagining where they might lead if taken to the extremes. Science fiction during this period was a fertile ground for exploring the fears of communism, socialism, and technology, often showing them as intertwined threats of human freedom, individuality, and existence. These narratives were not just about the future, but were deeply rooted in the anxieties of the present, using speculation to discuss the very real concerns of the Cold War era.
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you!